What's going on, YouTube fam? Today I want to do a quick comparison between your 2011 and your 2022 Cardinal 7s. Before I get into the comparison, if you're new to my channel, first time just kind of stumbling across one of my videos, welcome. Thanks for dropping by to kick it with me. But look, while I have you here, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, click that notification bell for me. That way when I upload new material, post new content or anything like that, you get notified. Also, if you're on social media, such as like Instagram, Twitter, you enjoy pictures of sneakers, outfits, anything really related to kicks, honestly, give me a follow. You can find me, I'm at iAMTMCII. And lastly, after you watch the video, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Really goes a long way. Motivates me to keep wanting to take out time and record these videos, honestly. So hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really goes a long way. Okay, so now that the intro is out of the way for my first timers, let's just dive right into the comparison. So these on your left are the 2022 release, and these are the first time these ever retro back in 2011. So I just want to kind of go over the different comparisons and just things I've noticed. So just looking at the shoes before I get close, you can see like the heights are completely different. The height on the 2022 is much higher and taller, especially the tongue. Looking at the 2011s, you can see that the tongue kind of sticks up above this part, and this is kind of almost the same height going across. That was one thing I always noticed with some of the 7s, their tongue height be a little bit different. And then even the fonts, so you can look at the fonts between the two. The fonts are a little bit different. Seem like they're a little bit more bolder and bigger here. And these just seem like they're real skinnier on here. While I'm up in this area, you can see that the 2011s had the chrome lace tips, and these are just your regular standard lace tips here. Coming down to your toe box, the toe box seems a little bit more round here, whereas this one comes more into a little point right here, more of a V, and this is more like a U shape sort of. Even as this just seems more round, and these just seem a little bit more pointy. Overall, something I did notice seemed like the midsole and the little peaks on here seem like they went with like a glossier finish on here. So it seems more glossy on here compared to the 2022. So these seem like this a little bit more matted. It don't have that shine to it. It seemed like the paint that they used is more matted versus this has more of a shine and gloss to it. See if you guys can kind of see it. It's hard to tell, but looking at it, these have more of a kind of like a oily sheen, oil-based paint or something that they use, and it seemed like this may be more of a matted type paint on here. Even with the some of the leather, you can it just feels like a little bit more, the finish that they use is a little bit different. Coming around to like this part here, the leather feels a little bit different. I feel like this is like that stiff plastic, not really plastic, but you know, the stiff leather, whereas this has a little bit more texture and body to it on this part. Just seems like it's a better grain of leather. I've noticed that the holes are a little bit different too. So like just the hole placement, you can look at the holes here. They're in the same places, but they're just a little bit different, and the size of the holes are a little bit different too. So see if I can pull this up and you guys can see this from a higher angle. So on these, it just seems like the holes, they're not in the exact same places, and they're not the exact same size. So I did notice some of that a little bit different, like around this part right here. So you have these little 4 holes here, but coming over here, you have them, but they're not as big as they are on here. And that's the same thing I noticed like throughout the shoe, just the whole placement and size and just a little bit different on each. So if you look at the holes and how they are on here, you can see them underneath the Jumpman on here, and they have them here, but they're not placed like the exact same. Let me see if we can stand these back up really quick. Some other stuff that I noticed, obviously, well, these had a Jumpman, I think, in the inside, but wore it out. But these have Nike Air in the inside. The liner, like this part right here, so this have like that cardinal red color. These are the 2011s, and the 2022s, it's white right here. So this area is white, and this area is like that cardinal red. Something else I did notice too, wanted to show you guys, like this part underneath the Jumpman is black. So it's a little bit thicker on those versus the 2011s. So on the 2011s, it's not that tall, I guess. So the 2011s have like a little small peak of this black, whereas on the 2022s, it seems like a little bit more taller than on there. So if you guys can see that. So yeah, you can see it. It's not as tall right here as it is on here. I see some other stuff that I noticed. Flip these around, come around to the back also. So all it seems about the same, well, sort of. So the little pull tab on the back on your 2022s is like a stitch to the back of this versus this one. It's still stitched on there, but by, you know, the heights being different, it's just come way further down. So it's stitched with this being further down in the shoe, and then this back part just stick further up. So it looks like they're both on the same part. It's just a height difference that makes it seem like, you know, it's just sticking on higher. I thought these was stuck on to the back of the shoe, but it's still stitched onto the back of this line as well. Production dates January of 11, and these are March of 22. Product codes and all that stuff are different numbers also. I'll go over that when I show you guys the box. Looking at the actual colors themselves, they're really close. The cameras, I guess it's picking it up. The 2011s look a little bit darker than the 2022s, and that just could be from age, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but just something else that kind of just stands out. They look a little bit different. So also something that I noticed, the type of ribbon material, like the pattern of the ribbon. There's two different patterns. So you got this one on your 11s, and this one is a different pattern of ribbon. So looking at the way both the ribbons are, you can see that it's two different ribbon patterns that we have. I think for the most part, I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure you guys are gonna point it out in the comment section, but for the most part, that's what I see, some of the main things. The color in the inside, the heights, the ribbons, the finish of the paint that they use, a gloss versus a matte. I think that's pretty much it. Let me see if the outsoles, and it's gonna be hard to tell because these are worn. So the outsoles you can't tell because these are beat. So overall, it seems like it's the same pattern and everything. I can't tell with the colors because my 11s have been worn a lot. So that's that. I'll show you guys the boxes. So up top, back in 11, these were the type of boxes we got. It's kind of beat because I had other shoes stacked on top of it. It seemed like the box was really large for the shoe I had. It seemed like it was too big for the size shoe I had. So here's your label and a breakdown. And these were $150 back then, opposed to these being like 200 something bucks. But I actually got these on sale and got them cheaper than I did what I paid back in 2011. So you can see that you got, this is your color code and your breakdown and everything. So you still have that white, black, cardinal, red, but you got white, bronze, cardinal, red, black on here. Different style boxes. So this is much more of a sturdy box, and this have more of the original kind of homage to it with your Nike Air treatment and stuff on it. And these are like your regular retro boxes that we got way back in the day. So all in all, this is it. Pretty much quick comparison. Just wanted to show you all some of the differences I noticed. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. As I mentioned earlier, if you're new, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. See y'all later. Peace.